Hello, everyone, and welcome to Thursday Live Lessons here on ukuleleunderground.com. My name is Aldrine Guerrero, joined live with a studio audience. Hey, how about everyone? So we have a special guest today. We have Kalei Gamiao. Better round of applause. Kalei Gamiao.
Thanks for
and
having
as
me.
per usual, the other two musketeers, my team, my awesome two compadres. Mr. Kahai the Legend Fergan is also here. Say what's up, Kahai.
What's up?
Yeah. And also Mr. Aaron the Voice Nakamura. Say what's up, Aaron.
What's up?
Hey. So how this works is that we get emails, we get questions from all over the place, maybe via computer, via telephone, coconut wireless, whatever. However, we get the questions, we try to answer them as best as we can. I try to answer it, and then these three guys are gonna come up with their own answers as well, put in their 2 cents, and we'll come up with a super answer just for you. Now, we have a live studio audience, so we're going to be taking questions from our audience as well. So go ahead, raise your hand if you have a question.
Oh, gotta come to the mic.
Oh, yeah. Raise your hand and go to the mic if you have a question. I just want to say what's up to all our live viewers right now. We are streaming live on ukuleleunderground.com. And if you guys want to, if you guys are listening to this via podcast, what's up to all you podcast listeners as well. So let's get started. Here we go. First question. Raise your hand and go up to the microphone. Any question. It could be anything related to ukulele, not related to the ukulele. We can talk about whatever you guys want. Yeah, go ahead. There we go. State your name, where you're from, and what your question is.
This is Dan from San Francisco. We were able to meet your beautiful little daughter, 2 years old. Are you going to teach her ukulele, and when do you plan to start doing that?
Ooh, am I gonna teach her ukulele? I am. I mean, she already has her own kanile ukulele. I know that sounds like she's like super spoiled or whatever, but it is what it is. Like she has hers. I mean, I can spare one, I guess. Like that I have. But she's been super into the ukulele. And I think it's because even when my wife was pregnant, we just I constantly play around the house and stuff. So maybe and I hear that people say that the kid can hear you even if it's in the stomach. So they hear everything that's kind of going on around. And I kind of took that to heart. I'm like, a lot of people do classical music and whatever, but for me, I'm like, this kid's gonna hear my off-tune voice her entire life. What might as well start now, So I've been playing music for my wife and just kind of around the house so that the kid kind of gets used to it. And now she's a lot older. I feel like she's telling me she's the authority on ukulele music now, because I started to pick up my ukulele. I start playing something and she just goes and grabs. She's like, and I'm like, you don't want me to play? And then she puts it up to her body and she plays. I was like, oh, so you're gonna show me how then? All right, so you're the Aldrine Guerrero of Aldrine Guerrero's house, where you're showing me how to play this instrument. But
it's my house, Dad, not your house.
Exactly. But it's really cool. We gave her a nice little keyboard that she can just kind of bang on and stuff. She has maracas, courtesy of ukulele. She has ukulele. Well, it's actually maracasitas. There's like tiny little maracas. She likes to use those. So her rhythm is on. If I give her kind of this, like, she can kind of do the maracas pretty close to the rhythm that I'm doing. So she's well on her way to being better than me by maybe 4 years old. But yeah, she loves it. She loves it. You have anything to add? How about your 2-year-old at home?
Oh, my 2-year-old. I got no kids yet.
Yeah. How old were you when you started playing ukulele?
I started when I was 13 years old.
I love this story. Tell them why you started playing the ukulele.
A lot of people don't know that I actually was really involved with baseball from the age of 4. And I played baseball all the way till I injured my arm when I was 13 years old. Had to take a year off because apparently one side of my joint was growing faster than the other, which kind of made my arm crooked. I couldn't extend it and it was very painful. Went through like MRIs to make sure there was nothing wrong with me, and so took off for a year. And then my parents asked me, hey, you want to try something new, something different, another hobby? And I was like, they're like, nope, no video games. But you want to try something new and fun, So I was like, yeah, I'll try the ukulele. We saw an ad for some ukulele lessons, and that's kind of how I got started. Played like C major for like three to 6 weeks straight without learning any other chord.
Nice.
So that's kind of where it started. Yeah.
So it's just like, I can't do baseball anymore, so might as well play ukulele.
Yeah, for a year, and then after that, then they're like, "Oh yeah, how's your arm?" I was like, "Oh yeah, it feels great. Do you want to go back to baseball?" Nope.
So much more fun. than
Like
baseball.
after like 9 years of playing baseball, it's just like totally just like no, this is
You
my,
say
my new thing.
if I go and play baseball for a little bit, you said 4 to 13.
Yeah.
So if I play baseball for what's that 9 years, I can play just as good as you.
If not better.
Okay, so just 9 years.
That's the secret.
not
It's
that bad.
baseball. Just go injure yourself at a sport, and then you can play ukulele.
Ukulele on the ground is not condoned or
No arms were harmed in the filming of this podcast.
Everybody's gonna come out of the retreat with two
With
arms
two broken.
broken.
Of course, we're kidding. We're joking, right? I hope you're joking.
Was
Oh.
I?
Right on. So we got the origins of Kalei Gamiao a little bit there. It's a little added bonus. Is there any other questions anything? Ask us anything. Raise your hand and go up to the microphone. If not, we're just gonna start talking stories. Any question? You guys are here
We
live.
just got another guest.
Oh, wow, really?
Surprise guest.
We have a surprise guest in the house. Really? Who is this surprise guest? Okay, he's coming. He's coming up. He's coming up. We do have a surprise guest coming up. But so Kalei, for those people who don't know you, right? List some of your accolades. So to just kind of give people an idea of who you really are. List your accolades. What have you done? How many Naohoku Hano awards you've shared with people?
Well, I kind of like everyone else here at this retreat. I have U.A.S. I don't know, but
What is U.A.S?
U.A.S. Ukulele Acquisition Syndrome. It's to the point where you're just so addicted to the instrument, can't get enough of it. You need one in the car, you need one in the closet, you need one in your pillowcase, you need one everywhere. So therefore, you end up with like 15 of them.
Yeah.
Eventually, like most of us end up doing. But it I don't know, it just magically appears. You're just
Tell
like,
my
I'm
wife
gonna
that.
stop. Yeah. Well, I don't have any wife. I'm not married, so like I guess it's okay for me to keep buying and collecting and trading them in and
There you go.
show and tell. It's like each retreat would be a different uke.
So what I know you've been all around the world and stuff. So name some of the places that you've been to.
So over the years, like with the growth and popularity of the ukulele, I mean, you guys see it all the time. It's like there's a lot of opportunities for ukulele players to go out and perform and tour. So I was just really lucky that there's a lot of like I said, opportunities. So I've been fortunate to travel to places around Asia, such as like Japan, Thailand, China, Hong Kong, Singapore, Malaysia, Korea, even other places like Australia, New Zealand. There's Europe, and Europe's getting quite big now. So I've been to Italy, and it's so much fun to see like how much people love to play this instrument that we love to share with the rest of the world.
And it's nice to see how different everyone approaches the ukulele. Like people in Hawaii, we have our own way of kind of approaching the instrument. People in the mainland have a different way of approaching the instrument. People in in Europe have got that kind of George Formby thing going on. People in Asia have kind of that Asian thing going on.
Asia, they're serious.
They are
serious in Asia.
I need to learn like the right way.
Like China has their own curriculum. It's kind of ridiculous.
That's insane. I would fail, I think.
Like,
when do I get to chunk? They're like, no chunking.
no. You don't chunk until you learn how to just strum one chord first.
To learn to grab the fly from my hand
With
chopsticks.
You have to change your strings with chopsticks.
Oh snap!
Like, how do you tie
That's
that?
some like wow. Then I'll be as good as. So I need to break my arms, and then I need to learn how to change my string with chopsticks, and I'll be as good as
Abe
Kalei Gamiao.
Grimace.
All right. We have a special guest in the house who just arrived. Say hello to Magic Mike. Back there. Come over real quick and say hi. We're doing Thursday live lesson right now, so this is the podcast. If you just want to say hi, there are people who already kind of know you. So
Broke his wrist.
he broke his wrist, so he's halfway there of becoming Kalei Gamiao.
I have only. That's why it's only one.
Okay.
Can you get him to demonstrate changing strings with chopsticks?
Oh, do we have chopsticks here, Mike?
No, I was looking for them. I didn't.
Yeah. We need to charge higher prices like for the retreat if we're gonna have Mike show how to change strings with chopsticks, because I would go to that class too. But anybody else want to ask any questions? I'm just gonna start grilling Kalei about stuff.
We have a question in the chat.
Yeah, awesome.
So Renee asks, question about warm-ups. What kind of vocal warm-ups do you do? What kind of vocal warm-ups do you do, Kalei?
What kind of vocal warm-ups do you do, Kalei?
So what you do is you take a cup of Pepsi and then you gargle it with some baking soda.
I mean, it,
I'm down for that.
I thought you take the Pepsi and the Mentos and you try and hold it in your mouth as long as you can.
what I usually do, actually, is I get some nice hot water for tea, and then I steep the tea exactly 2 minutes with exactly half a squeeze of lemon, and then when I get on stage, I say, "Aaron, can you sing the next song?" That's what I do. That's how I warm up to get Aaron the voice to sing all the songs for me.
It's like, la 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 la. Okay, Aaron, can you please sing?
I'm all warmed up. Okay, go ahead, Aaron.
Get the voice and the face.
Well, actually, it's tough because I don't want to give the wrong advice because I don't warm up. But for me, whenever I do shows, whenever I do festivals and stuff, I'm constantly talking with people, and I feel like because I'm moving my mouth, because I'm like working my throat, working my voice, just talking with with. What is that noise? Just talking with people. I feel like it already kind of warms up my voice in the process. So I don't want to be talking all day to people and then like kind of doing, I'm just going to be stretching out that voice even more. Yeah. So I'm going to, I run into the odds or the chances of me kind of getting a sore throat or potentially ruining it at the end. So you don't want to overuse it. Mm-hmm. So I feel like me just kind of talking, doing the lessons is enough of a warm-up. And if I really need to do warm-ups, I'll just tell Aaron, like, let's just sing a couple songs in the backstage just to make sure that we're kind of in grooving together. We, our guitar and ukulele is in tune, and my singing voice is nice and ready. That's a serious answer.
For me, I don't do really any kind of vocal warm up because I normally don't sing at my shows.
So for Kalei, what kind of like finger warm ups do you do?
Yeah, so not necessarily singing, but what kind of finger warmers do you use?
So I just like to stretch my hands out a little bit, kind of like what you normally do, as like warm ups and stretches for your fingers, like this, but not like too much because like I noticed that when you stretch your hands a little too hard, it ends up like being kind of more difficult to hold certain types of chords if you overstretch. That's the one thing I noticed for me, but like that could just be me. But I like to do like chord warm-ups. I'll choose like I'll do stuff like little caterpillar walk-ups, like depending on like moving my fingers. Yeah, just doing like minor 7 to diminished and going back down. Stuff like that helps me. I'll even practice scales. Yeah. Like I'll just, because like when you play at different positions within the fretboard, it feels different, So all these little things can make a big difference, and just warm-ups. I actually do more warm-ups than I actually practice songs, just to get like the blood flowing.
Yeah. Well, so going back to you talking about minor 7 and diminished warm-ups. So what he's talking about, the caterpillar, he's doing this minor 7 chord, and then he's gonna go up to the diminished, and then another minor 7, then diminished. That is the minor 7 diminished caterpillar warm-up, just so that people know. I've been doing something a little bit unique in my warm-ups. I've taken a liking to playing cards, and I've been kind of like shuffling playing cards. And that's kind of how I warm up my hands. And Kalei's watching me like shuffle cards, and it's like, okay, now I have to hold it with this pinky finger all distorted like this. It's actually making my fingers move in all the weird and different ways that I never thought I could move my fingers. So it's been kind of working out a lot. Like pretty good for me to be doing some card warm-ups.
And it's super cool too. It's like you're showing me some like your favorite, like what do you call it, like cardistry?
Yeah, cardistry. Yeah,
like,
cardistry is just the it's like artistry in cards. So it's like bending the cards or shuffling the cards in a way that is very aesthetically pleasing. People would say. So that's cardistry. Yes.
So you mentioned ukulele acquisition syndrome. What is your desert island ukulele?
Ooh,
you got to pick one.
That's a good question. That's a good question. My sponsors are gonna hate now if I say anything other than Kalei ukulele. So I'm gonna go ahead and just say Kalei ukulele.
How could you pick one Kalei? Like Kalei in general, right?
No. Actually, I really like this one. This is because it's not too fancy schmancy. If I was in a desert island, I'm not gonna give up hope of being rescued. So like, you know what I mean? If I was in a desert island and I had this, because if I had a nicer ukulele, that's the U.A.S. in me. It's like, oh, it's not the right humidity in desert islands. It's not the right, like it might get wet, might get rained on. What if I get rescued? My favorite ukulele is gonna be ruined, right? So this is my favorite ukulele that is not super duper fancy. So it actually, honestly, I would bring this exact ukulele with me to a desert island. It's not trying to be anything too fancy. It just does the job. About you, sir?
Wow. Jeez. How do I top that? Let's see. I have a Kamaka HF3 at home that I've had for a while, and it was one of the ukuleles that didn't pass inspection. And so there's a little flaw in the finish. So I was looking for something that I could take anywhere to the beach and not have to worry about like taking like one of my custom ukes with me. And so that one right there would just fit perfect. It's not flashy. It sounds good. It plays good, and it's not because like I've been playing Kamaka for a while. It's like what I needed it for, and it served that purpose up until now. And so, it's not about like the fanciest instrument that you would be stranded on an island that you should take. It'd be more of like, what is something you would actually take there if you could get back home,
Desert island movies, top 3, go.
Ooh. I don't know.
Wilson.
Walk to Remember.
A Walk to Remember. Wilson.
Castaway. Okay. So Asterix, he is a Kamaka artist. Notice the answer there.
I never said
I love Kamaka. I love Kanye. No, you're not. Are you still a Kamaka artist, by the way?
I've actually never been sponsored at all by anybody.
Ooh,
so I'm
juicy.
allowed to play whatever I want.
Juicy.
This is not a Kamaka, as you can see.
Oh,
so
snap.
yeah, there's probably gonna be
Rainbow
a
Man.
big mess on the forums after this.
What is can you talk about this particular ukulele right here?
This ukulele is a brand that I kind of helped introduced about 2 years ago through the Ukulele Site. This is made by our friends in Taiwan, Nui, and they've been making ukulele since about 2008. And so up until maybe about 5 or 6 years ago, they really got into like the higher end ukulele market, came up with a design that sounds great, and I almost feel like this is like one of the few instruments out there that I would purchase and not care that it's actually made in China. So quality is really good. Gold Tool UPT tuners, Moon Spruce.
Kalei, what are
Rosemary.
you saying? Mike is made in China. I love Mike.
Oh.
Only half.
Where were you finished? So you were started in China. You started making you there. And where were you assembled?
He was made in China, assembled in Hawaii.
It's like Apple Imagine in San Francisco. Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody? Yeah, go ahead. You gotta speak to the microphone so that.
Yeah, I was going to crawl around the front.
Go ahead.
So
Yeah, you can go from there.
So,
So
what's
your name, where you're from?
Oh, my name is Rob. I'm from the other side of the world in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. And I want to know the severity of your U.A.S. and, maybe a range of the severities in the audience here would be interesting to know.
So what is the severity of your U.A.S? Like, how many ukes do you have?
It's like
It's a nice way of asking. How many ukes do you have?
after 20 years of playing, I've been pretty good at controlling myself and saying no to a new ukulele every month. So I tend to get a new one every year and a half.
Okay, so 20 at least.
I have about like 13.
13 ukuleles. That's not
Yeah.
that bad. Actually.
It's actually
Yeah.
I've
Some
been a good
people over
boy.
here are like, really? That's it? You're
Yeah,
calling it a
actually-
syndrome?
When you go to 14, it's like, that's becoming a problem. Tone it down.
Wait a year and a half, Kai.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he works at a music store too.
That's even
gotta
worse.
be tempting,
Surrounded
man.
by
Because
it.
like we get all these instruments that come in, and then like we're doing demos and sound samples, and these are both supposed to be available for anybody to purchase, and then we're just like, oh,
I kind of want
I go on the back end and then kind of want to take it out of stock just so I can play it, and then put it back in, But I get in trouble if I do that. But.
So you talk about working at a music store. So tell us about the music store you work at.
So I work at the Ukulele Site, which is one of the largest online ukulele stores.
Flex that muscle, man. Tell him we're the best. Flex that muscle.
But it's a group. It's working with them is a lot of fun because the owner is Andrew Kitakis. His family started up Ko'olau ukuleles, so he's grown up around these instruments, knows how to build them. He worked in finishing for a bunch of years before he started to open up his company. He started with Hawaii Music Supply, which is a normal music store that carried guitars, keyboards and drums and effect pedals, and then decided to move on to just selling ukuleles. And since then, we've been lucky with the amount of support from our customers and the community. They've just been really gracious. So we tried to provide them with the best instrument that may be the best for them, and try to make sure everything's all functioning correctly, no buzzes. We do a full setup on them, so it's great.
Isn't that when you like, look at this tiny little mark. We can't sell this ukulele. I guess I'll just have to take it home,
Like here's like some behind the scenes stuff that like
Give us a dirt. Come on, give us a dirt.
no matter
What's Andrew really like?
Undercover boss right now.
I'm just joking, baby. Yeah. Don't worry, we turned off the cameras. It's cool. It's safe.
yeah. Okay, cool.
Oh, look, the cameras are on.
Go ahead.
So one of the things that I've come to realize over the years was that no matter what instrument you buy, no matter what brand or where it's made, there's always something that could be done to improve that instrument before it gets shipped out, before you pick it up and play it. And everything down to like little details, like cosmetic flaws that we find, we actually fix. So we're actually like the ones that's trying to actually keep the reputation of like all these companies, very high.
Yeah.
So we're kind of like the last resort or last stop for quality
Line
control.
of defense.
Like we got one of
Yeah.
our guys, our setup guys, who used to work for Taylor PRS. He can restore instruments, and so he's so picky that he finds like a little speck of dust just under the finish, and I can't even see it, but it's like smaller than a pin needle, and he's like, yeah, see that right there? I gotta go like somehow like take that out or cover it up, and he'll work on it for an hour if he needs to.
See, that's why you gotta flex your mind. You gotta tell people that. Like, Mike, do you guys do that at your store? So see, Mike is straight up. And I feel like when you were like telling people about stuff, you're like, oh, we try to do this, we try to do that. You gotta flex it. Be like, we do this and we do that. We need to try. Just let them know you guys are the best. Now, I mean, honestly, like, you guys have been around for a long time, right?
About 10 years.
Yeah. So in 10 years, honestly, like in Hawaii, I believe that you guys are the best place to get an ukulele. You guys keep the models that you guys believe in. Like you guys only carry stuff that you believe is good quality good sounding instruments. So that's a really good reputation. And like you just mentioned, you guys make sure that the integrity of each instrument is not not compensated. You know, with like a blemish here or there. Like you make sure that
It doesn't matter if it's like a Kala ukulele or entry level to up to like a Chuck Moore $20,000. Right. Everything gets the same treatment.
Yeah, so that's cool.
So it's
right
like
on, man. Right on. So, any other questions? So 13 for him. Like, I believe I'm on 30 something. 30 something ukuleles. Yeah,
no wonder you had to move into a bigger house.
At 14, maybe just Kalei ukuleles.
Did you see Craig's like shirt? It says like single is just like the picture of a guy, and then like relationship. There's like him and his uke, and there's like 2 ukes on the side of each side. It says it's complicated.
$20,000 ukulele. Yeah, so
it plays.
tell us about
It
the
plays
20,000.
itself.
Oh yeah, does your taxes? It's a smart
like,
uke.
One of the reasons why like Chuck is like the guy that everyone wants to get a uke from is because he does everything himself. Every little inlay, every single detail is done by one guy. If you go to like a lot of like these other well-known companies, they'll actually hire someone who specializes in inlay, like Pearlworks. I'm pretty sure like Kanilea, Koloha, Kamaka, they all use Pearlworks because like they're face it, they're like the best at like abalone inlays for these major companies.
I was just at Koaloha the other day. They have an inlay guy sitting right there.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
that's even better.
Yeah, he specializes in that.
Oh, good. That's good. They're doing all their in-house like inlays, but like with Chuck, like he does so much detail, and that's when like from like a well-built instrument also becomes like a piece of art. So you can consider him like the Picasso of the ukulele world. That's why his instruments are so valuable. The amount of time he puts in it, and we did not like know that he would be so famous at like up to this point because we didn't know how much we should sell his ukes for. So we put it up for auction, and then we just someone what would be the minimum that you would sell this for, and then the customers decide how much.
Yeah, it is worth as much as someone will be willing to pay for it. So if it goes up that much, then that means that's what it's.
That's why you put it on an auction.
Yeah, and I mean Chuck is awesome. Like he's been an Ukulele Underground member like since day one, I believe. So he's been like perusing our forums from the early days, and he hangs out in the Luthier Lounge of Ukulele Underground, and he's a super nice guy. Not only does he make really amazing instruments, but he helps other people make amazing instruments. There's a lot of starting luthiers or beginner luthiers that are there, and they're asking people for advice. And we got guys like Pete Howlett. Uncle Joe used to kind of be at on Ukulele Underground, and also Chuck Moore and a bunch of others, and they're just kind of sharing their knowledge of building instruments and what's kind of worked for them. So not only is he a cool dude who makes ukuleles, he's also a cool dude to just get all this knowledge from. Yeah, nice guy.
He's awesome.
Yeah,
him and his wife are great to hang out with.
Yeah. Cool. Next question. Do we have questions from the chat, by the way?
Somebody asked if they can see you flourish.
Well, I don't have my cards right now, but I mean, do you have cards?
I have cards, but it's in the room.
Oh well.
Imagine
you have to. I will do some flourish, but it'll be after the show, so you have to come to the retreat. I'm sorry, it's just one of those things that it's retreat only. Retreat only.
You, besides ukulele acquisition syndrome, you also have card acquisition syndrome.
I do have CAS.
Yes.
I've only been collecting cards for a year, a couple months over a year, and I believe I have about 150 decks of cards. And then a lot of them are the same, because usually people buy cards in what's called bricks, which is a box of 12 cards.
But it's just as addictive as
brick. It's just addictive as buying ukuleles. All right. So anybody have any other questions? Raise your hand and go up to the microphone. Anything else you guys want to ask? Our next guests are coming up. So here at the retreat, we have a bunch of guests coming in today. We have Kupa Oa, and we also have Kumu Maka that is coming in and showing us some stuff. So this ukulele you talked about, it's called a Nue Nue.
Yep.
Or rainbow.
Rainbow.
So that's your Hawaiian word for the day. A Nue Nue means rainbow. So if you're out on Kauai or out somewhere and see a rainbow, tell your friend like, hey, that's a Nue Nue.
Yeah.
And people are like, wow, where'd you learn that? Aldrine Guerrero. There it is. So that's why the headstock is a guy going like this with the. So it's kind of like Hawaiian hieroglyphics, but with the
It's
the
pretty
rain.
cool. It's like
Yeah.
a little modern twist on it.
Yeah. Any other questions? Do you have a question from the chat again?
Not okay. So adding on to the vocal warm up, Renee asks, "Is there a comparable voice exercise to the worm or inside outside?" So just like some kind of stretching or something that you feel like your vocals are being warmed up.
I mean, I'm gonna stick with my original answer. Like the more I talk, the more it kind of stretches it. The more you just kind of use anything, like if you're if you're gonna do cards or whatever, you just kind of like stretch your card. You stretch your hands out. It'll help you kind of do that. If you're about to run, if you just kind of like stretch out your legs, it's basically gonna do that. So talking, same thing. If I really because I'm not a trained singer, so this is a question kind of more to like trained professional singers and stuff. I'm like a bar singer that just like if whenever I'm like I clock in, I go and sing, and then I clock out and I'm done. That's kind of like how it works. So I consider anything that I do with my vocal cords or just my throat in general to be part of that warm up.
Yep.
Yeah. Questions from the house. Anything. Don't be. Yeah, go ahead. State your name, where you're from, and your question. There we go.
Hi, I'm Yvonne from Houston, and we heard from Kalei that the baseball career cut short, and so now you play the uke. Aldrine, if ukulele wasn't part of your life, what would you be doing?
Ooh. That's a good question. What would I be doing? I like video games a lot. I would probably be like a Twitch streamer, like you hear about those kids like who play video games on YouTube and whatever. Honestly, that's still not far off. If this whole ukulele thing doesn't work, you're probably gonna find me on Twitch streaming. Like that's what I'm gonna do. Now, other than video games, what else are my other paths? I like greeting people, so maybe working at Walmart was like a thing that I might be doing, and that's like actually not a joke. If I get to a place where I'm like financially secure, my dream job would be greeter at Walmart, and I tell everyone this just because like I just get to say hi to people like every day, meet new people and stuff, regardless of like don't say hi to me, like I'd still be stoked to do it. I think something as mundane as that, and I don't gotta stress out about anything. I don't gotta think about like, oh man, how's my business doing, or how many whatever. I just gotta think about, okay, how am I gonna say hi today? Am I gonna go with hi, or am I gonna go with hi? That's like my only worry in life. I think that's my dream job. My dream job is to think about how to say hi to people. But if going back to the question, I think Twitch streamer, or something with YouTube, or I like making jokes and stuff, so maybe I'll try my hand at like maybe not so much stand-up comedy, but like doing some like comedic videos. I like doing sketches, like I like watching SNL. I would love to do something like that with people. I don't know, anything that just kind of that involves being myself. Like this at Ukulele on the Ground, it kind of allowed me to be myself in front of people and just kind of like enjoy my career doing what I already do. How about you, Kalei? Other than baseball, what would you do if ukulele wasn't in your life?
I think I would probably like to get paid to eat food. Like travel the world. There's like
mukbang action.
There's like Mark Wayne's and like
Mark Wayne's. Yeah, there you
Mike
go.
Chen. Mikey Chen. Like I think that's a bomb job. Like you get sponsored.
Why
to
don't you do
fly
that now?
And like all around the world.
You go all around the world. You should just film yourself doing it. You can do both jobs.
But after performing, you're so hungry, you don't want to have to wait and get the shot. You just want to stuff your face, right? Like, last night after your gig, we're just like,
yeah.
But I think that would be cool. Like, just
how's that burger last night?
That burger was mean.
And you had the seared ahi.
And
At
that was
Oasis on the beach in
Yes.
Kapa'a in Waipoli Beach Resort. If you guys are ever down in town, that place got the best burger in the world.
my favorite restaurant on Kauai.
Kalei said it. It must be true.
It is. It's true. It's true. Would you like to sponsor my next album?
How about,
No,
how
I'm
about you,
just kidding.
Kahai? What would you be doing if ukulele wasn't in your life, Kahai? What would...
I was gonna say, if you're a Walmart greeter, I'm not gonna shop at Walmart anymore. Or like, I'm gonna be like, Aldrine is at the front door. I'm gonna go in through the garden aisle or whatever, right? Go in the back.
I always picture myself, you know those guys who do like direct traffic and they're like doing karate moves or dancing or whatever, directing traffic. I would be the greeter who like dances and like, hi, what's up? These are the carts on the side. Like, you know, I'd be doing something like that. Still music, I guess.
I feel like we have to go to Walmart and see if they will give you a job as a greeter. Like, you have to try and audition for it.
Undercover boss, but then like not boss, undercover employee.
Yeah.
See if I can infiltrate Walmart as a greeter.
Yeah.
Anybody else have any other questions? Raise your hand. Anything. That was a great question. That was awesome. I loved it. Anything you guys want to know about Kalei, his hobbies, his likes, dislikes, So, can I ask you a question?
Sure. Yes.
All right. You've been to a bunch of different places. Where is your favorite place that you've been to, and why?
Ooh. I don't have a favorite.
Aldrine Guerrero. I'm from the island of Kauai. My question is to Kalei. Where is your favorite place and why?
Oh, that's a good question. I think like out of all the places I've been to, there's like 3 places that really stand out to me. The first one was like the first foreign country I ever visited was Japan. It's great over there. You know, just like the people are so hospitable, very nice. Like the food there is great. I love the culture. It really was. I think like if any of us like within the U.S. are looking to go visit a foreign country, that would be like a good number one, like good first time for anybody. You get a good experience there, and I got to make a lot of friends in there. So that's like one of like my top 3. Then there's also Thailand, which is like the first place we got to tour together. It was awesome, and I ended up making so much friends over there that it's almost like I have like extended ohana, you know, in there in Thailand.
From Lilo and Stitch. I know what you're saying.
Yeah, ohana means family.
Means nobody gets left behind.
Or forgotten. Yeah, but you know that's where we met Asada. From Ribby Boutique or Ribby Ukulele, and we got to experience like the huge ukulele movement in Thailand and performed in this huge. Remember how big that stage was with the screen?
it was
Like
crazy.
you see your face, and it's like 10 feet big and like 20 feet wide. It's just like whoa.
I mean, growing up in Asia and in the Philippines and stuff, like I watch a lot of variety shows, so they like they have a lot of those things with like the big screens in the back. So it was kind of trippy to be, you know, on a stage with a big screen in the back. And I believe when I was on Thailand, I went up on stage and I looked back and I went on the microphone. I'm like, that's me in the back.
And then you also like said, like, is there any Ukulele Underground members here? And just like everyone's hands were
Oh,
up.
that's cool.
That was back in 2011 too.
Yeah.
That was fun. And so yeah, like so that's number 2. Then the third one would be Taiwan actually.
I thought you were gonna say Kauai, but that's cool.
No. Hey, Hawaii's my home.
No, Kauai.
Of course there's like one
Kauai.
Kauai.
This poipu in general. No, so Taiwan?
Yeah, Taiwan is great cuz like I love Chinese food too, and they have their own way of doing things, and because they were once part of China, and they kind of still are, but kind of ain't at the same time. But like, I'm not gonna go there. So politics, no politic questions. Yeah. So, but it's great because like I got to meet like Johnson them from Nui Nui, and I like the culture there. It's really interesting. I just eat everything I can. Like everybody's just like, you want a piece of like raw cabbage? Here you go. It's like everything's fresh. So here we're going back to like my food tours. So if I ever do start a company,
have they just like kind of taken a rubber bat and like, hey, here, Kalei, check it out, and they're like on the side, like, oh my god, he's eating it. You really give him anything and he'll eat it.
But yeah, that was great. We had like the Ukulele All-Star concert.
Oh yeah, that
over
was
there.
cool. Yeah. It was me, you,
Kias.
Kias. We had
Taimani?
was Taimani Gardner there?
Yeah.
It was nice. And was that the same one with what his name? I know his YouTube is JWC Free, but Sungha was Sungha.
Sungha.
I know he was part of the Ukulele All Stars. Was that the Korea leg?
I think that might have been the Korea leg.
I
But
see.
he was definitely on stage with, or we did something with him in Thailand.
You know what, Kalei? I've been in so many
think so.
stages. I can't remember all.
Oh!
You wouldn't-
Apparently,
you
he's still
wouldn't-
on
you
one.
wouldn't know.
This is coming from the guy who wants to be a Walmart greeter.
You wouldn't
What?
understand, Kalei, if you've been in as many stages as I have. See, this is the only guy I can joke around that way with. Because if I said that to anybody else, it'd be like, oh, Aldrine's kind of, full of himself. But because he's been in like twice as many stages as I've been.
No. A stage is a stage.
Oh. But so Japan, Thailand, Taiwan.
Yeah.
Nice, man. Nice. Of all the festivals that you've been to, because you've done festivals as well, and you've done like little whatever, stuff like Ukulele All Stars shows and whatnot. Can you tell us the difference between all the festivals all around the world? Because they're going to be different, right?
Yes.
The Italy festival that you went to, I'm sure, is different. So is the Japanese festival. The Ukulele Picnic in Japan is probably different. And Thailand Ukulele Festival, Taiwan, so on and so forth. Can you let us know, as far as the ukulele audience, how they, how they receive the music, and just kind of what's the difference?
Yeah, sure. So it's like one of the biggest differences with each festival around the world is for one, like the age group, and also the type of music that they're playing. So those are like the biggest difference. Like one thing I noticed about like a lot of places in Asia, because places like China, Taiwan, and Thailand, the ukulele is still fairly new there. So when an instrument is new, usually how the trend starts is you see a lot of kids, running around with ukuleles. It becomes popular in like the universities and the high schools, and then a lot of musicians start picking it up, and they're kind of like, they're not really young. They're like middle-aged people like us, and like, and the type of music that they start off with is usually like what makes the biggest difference. Like in Hawaii, we start off playing a lot of Hawaiian, traditional Hawaiian songs, like D7, G7C, and then you kind of learn a few other songs after that with the same 3 chords, and then you can break out from there. And then even like within the States, like there's like all those those amazing like iconic classic songs that all of us grew up listening to being played on the radio. So it kind of depends on like what type of music is influenced like that type of generation of ukulele players. Because when you go to like places like China, the way they approach the instrument is so different, because a lot of times they start off classical music in ukulele, and so they come from a very like they approach the instrument as serious as possible straight from the beginning, which is good and bad at the same time, because the ukulele should be fun. It shouldn't be always so serious. But like with the festivals and stuff like that, I do notice that a lot of festivals outside of the U.S. are 2-day events, and not just like with workshops, but like 2 days worth of just performances all day. Like the Ukulele Picnic in Japan, it's massive. Like you got like 10,000 people that show up for that, and sometimes even more. The Thailand festival was massive, just because like they went all out for the first festival with, fog machines, like lightings, and it was crazy. And then even
My
like
first laser show.
yeah, me too. I was just like, whoa. And it's just like me on stage, and like the stage is like bigger than this room, and you're just like, wow, do I like Taimani is the only one that like used up the whole stage.
Timon was in the second one.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the second one.
that was fun.
So the original Hawaii trio was myself, Kalei, and this guy named Abe Lagrimas.
Who's that?
Abe, I don't know that.
Oh.
Throwing some shade on Abe Lagrimas. If there's one person who's been in more stages than all three of us, both of
Like
us,
times 5.
and more famous, he just recently played at like the Disney stage in like LA or
He's
whatever.
done all kinds of stuff.
He's done Carnegie Hall.
Oh
Like-
gosh.
Carnegie Hall, that guy has done.
I heard though that he's giving up ukulele and he's going straight to automaton.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah. That's
only.
rumor mill.
Whoa.
Rumor mill is automaton
Whoa.
time.
That's
Yeah.
fun.
I heard he once wrestled a bear, and won. Yeah,
Wow.
I heard. That's just what I heard.
So
What I
was
heard.
it like a small teddy bear, or?
I mean,
or like
I think it was at a fun factory.
the giant
Bear
claw.
had no chance. Yeah, so Abe Lagrimas, very amazing
Yeah.
jazz musician. I'm not even gonna say jazz ukulele player, just jazz musician in general, because anything he touches, he can make music with.
Yeah,
It, you know, like
yeah.
I mean, honestly, you give him like a pair of spoons, he's gonna do jazz spoons. You know, it's not just gonna be spoons; it's gonna be jazz spoons.
Jazz spoons.
Yeah, or jazz coffee, whatever. Anything that anything that you give him, he jazzes it up. So one of these days, maybe these people can see Abe Lagrimas and
Yeah,
and
that would be great.
see
Yeah.
firsthand how amazing this guy is.
And like the three of us haven't like really talked or hung out in a long
yeah.
time, so that would be awesome. if
We
could.
we talked shortly. Is that last year or 2 years ago?
2 years
Yeah,
ago.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
During the Kanilea Ola Ka'aina concert. So just the three of us were like, we gotta do. We gotta get together. We gotta do Thailand one more time. Not even for a festival. We just go.
Just go.
And just show up at Asada's house one day.
Like- Just show up at his mansion and then like here, it's like-
Asada, pad thai, stat. Now, me hungry. Pad thai concert later.
But remember when we were like we were talking about like seeing each other 2 years ago?
Mm.
Like basically like there was a lot of people that wanted to talk story with us, but it was just the three of us just plugging up the walkway, just talking story, joking around the whole time at the Kanilea anniversary concert.
It was
It's
nice,
funny.
man. I mean, like, that was my first international. I mean, I know you did Japan before Thailand and stuff, but that was actually my first international trip, and it was insane because I didn't even have a passport like before that festival, and just kind of getting it, and I'm like, I'm going by myself. I didn't even go with Aaron. I just went by myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I was just like, and I remember specifically, I had a layover on Oahu, and it was for like 3-4 hours because we were there like late at night or something, right? And I was wandering around. I'm like, I have like 4 hours to kill, and I'm like in the airport like 1-2 in the morning or something. My flight isn't till like 3-4 or whatever. I remember seeing you guys just hanging out at like a Starbucks, and I'm like, I think that's one of the guys. I didn't really know you that well.
Yeah.
Yet. I think we met once, and I'm like, I believe that's a guy with an ukulele. He might be flying to Japan with me. So I went and I sat down with you guys, and the rest is history.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was fun.
Remember
I
that?
remember like
Yeah.
you had your Pokemon badge pins
Oh,
on
I mean,
your
why we gotta go there?
Oh, because like the
Why we
reason
gotta- why we gotta
reason
go
why I
there?
remember it because I was like, I looked at it, I was like, dude, I know what that is. Like I know what that is. Like that's so cool. Like the little kid just came out of me. I was just like, I got excited from Pokemon badges.
Yeah, I
And,
mean,
I'm like
I
20,
want to be the very best.
I'm like 23, 24 years old, excited about Pokemon.
If Walmart greeter doesn't work out, Pokemon Master is still.
Oh, there you
yeah,
go.
it's still
What
there.
color are you rooting for? Do you still play Gold? Pokemon Gold?
I mean, I play all the colors.
Oh, okay.
Recently, I've been playing Pokemon Sword, but that's
Okay.
neither here nor there.
Yeah, right on. Sweet.
Add me on Nintendo Switch. My FC will be on the description below.
Cool. Right on.
Friend code. But so yeah, that's interesting because kind of knowing what people kind of start out with in the different areas. I never even thought of that. And that kind of builds what kind of festival you're gonna have, because
Yeah.
in Europe they do a lot of George Formby stuff, and they
do,
they start
yeah.
out with that, and you see it a lot. They're very Tin Pan Alley kind of style.
You see a lot of
a
banjo.
lot of Tin Pan Alley. Yeah,
You see a lot of banjo litters.
Oh, I thought you said a lot of badges. I'm like, a lot of Pokemon badges? Are we still talking about Pokemon? But yeah, it's also banjos, exactly, because they want that kind of
Yeah.
1920s like Tin Pan Alley kind of style. And I didn't even think that like that's just kind of what they grew up with
Mhm.
from like when they're starting ukulele. That's cool, man, because it's so foreign to me. Have you tried doing some of those Pan Alley strums? It's like backwards of what
No,
we
it's
learned.
like it
Yeah.
looks easy, but it ain't. It
It's not.
definitely ain't.
It's like
it's
we're
hard.
taught to like kind of do triplets a certain way, and they do it the opposite of us.
Yeah.
Try do it.
I mean, you're
Try
gonna put
do
me on
it.
the spot, so. So, because we do the triplet with with the up down,
Mhm.
but they do this like a down down, like 2 down. So. And I'm sure that's wrong. Like they're gonna be like, no, that's not how you do it.
I'm trying to like figure it out too. It's like
yeah,
That's all.
it's tough. See, even the great Kalei Gamiao.
Something like that.
If you want to ask, if you want to stump a ukulele master from Hawaii, it's like, hey, do the Pan Alley strum.
Oh, how dare you! my only weakness.
They didn't teach us that in Kyle Creator Boy School. What are you talking about?
Yeah, Troy Fernandez. How come you never did any Pan Alley in your CDs? I'd have been well off in life, if you did some.
Is that Pure Heart 102? I don't remember that at 101.
Speaking of Pure Heart, dude, you are like Pure Heart now.
Huh?
You are like,
No.
I mean, you're Iron Mango, but hot damn, you are like the Jake of the new Pure Heart. You're the new Jake. Like New Coke. Everyone loves New Coke. Right? No. So you're playing in a band right now, right?
Yes.
You're in a band called Iron Mango.
Iron
And
Mango.
tell us about Iron Mango.
So over the years, you know how you after like from playing and gigging, you end up making a lot of friends with other musicians, and it was just coincidence that like one time I met John Yamasato during
Who is John
Time-
Yamasato?
So John Yamasato is one of the founders, or if not the founder, of High Sessions, which is a very very popular YouTube channel, and they
features Hawaiian musicians.
feature
yeah.
Hawaii musicians, and also they ended up extending to international artists as well. But like that's kind of like one of the venues that actually helped get my music out there, and that was like great. I mean, like I'm super thankful to be featured, and Aldrine was featured as well, but we ended up starting to do gigs together. It started off with just me and John, performing. He did vocals and guitar. I played ukulele. He was from a very popular band back in the day called Pure Heart, which influenced our playing a lot.
Who is Pure Heart?
So Pure
let's
Heart.
Let's go with that.
Pure Heart was the band that Jake Shimabukuro was in before he started his solo career, and so that's where all these songs like Body Surfing, Toccata, How Can I Get Over, all of these, now they call it ukulele standards. So like usually at some point in most people's ukulele playing career or learning experience, they want to end up eventually trying out one of those songs, and it's been great. And then all of a sudden we started getting more gigs, and then one gig we ended up calling Lopaka Cologne, which is the percussionist for the group Pure Heart as well. And then basically it was like we had this trio, and we're just playing all Pure Heart songs. And I learned all the songs before I even met these guys, and I was totally like fangirling about like everything that we were playing. Like How Can I Get Over, like all the hit songs, like Bring Me Your Cup, and I was just like, oh my god, this is a dream come true.
Yeah. Can I make a request? Can you call in sick for one of your gigs and call me?
All right, sounds good.
Can I?
Sounds good.
I will be Steel Mango.
That's
Steel Magnolia.
that's like
Titanium
when they
mango.
changed the formula to Coke and people were like, "Ew, this is gross. Bring back original Coke. What's going on?"
I'm the new Coke.
Yeah.
No, he's Pepsi now. I have
Bring
the
back
Coke.
original Iron Mango. What's going on? Ugh.
It's got iron strawberries.
This tastes like rust. What is going on?
Yeah, if you could just call in sick for one gig, that would be awesome.
Oh yeah, man. Like anytime.
And I got this guy who knows all the Pure Heart songs.
Don't. And then like we recently got Richard Gideon about like 2 or 3 years ago. He's from a group called Maunalua.
Mhm.
And they're very famous around the islands. They play a lot of Hawaiian music, and they've toured all around Japan. So he was kind of like the missing link in our band because we wanted to give it a totally different sound. So we're missing something new. So he brought bass and more vocals to it.
Nice.
So that's what kind of like shaped the sound that we have, and the fact that we've been just trying to do things slightly different. But man, every time we play those Pure Heart songs, it's just like yes,
right?
Yeah.
Right?
Like I've heard it so many times that I could play.
Right now.
You know, like I think I could play most of it. You know, miss a few notes here and there, but it's like it's like my dream band.
That is cool, man. Congratulations. You guys doing an album soon?
We want to. Actually, we've been talking about it for the past 2 years, but it's just like getting everyone's schedules because like the rest of the guys, they're all married and have families and they, have their day jobs. So it's just a matter of like get everyone together. But we will be playing a gig at the Blue Note pretty soon, the day after the ukulele picnic.
Nice, yeah.
And
just
so
shout them out. People,
yeah.
Blue Note. What's the date?
The Blue Note is actually going to be the
you
Monday after.
Make sure you check
The,
it. When like John Yamasato gets mad at you, he's like, "No, it's this day." It's
So
the
I
15th.
actually have it here. So it's actually going to be a February 17th.
17.
So there's 2 shows. There's one show at 6:30 and one show at 9 p.m. So yeah, come check
You
us out.
call in
you
sick on the
guys.
second one.
On the second one? Yeah, sure. Like
Second
they
set.
don't know it. They're probably never gonna see this podcast. So like,
Filipino guy like covering for another Filipino guy. No one would even know the difference.
like,
Like,
we're both the same height, anyways. Like you see our feet, we're not touching the ground.
I'm pretty sure you have a few more pounds of muscle than I do.
Kalei is gonna be at home with his Pokemon. Oh, John, I'm so. I gotta catch one more. I mean, I'm so sick.
And then in the background, you just hear her like.
No, it's gonna be like. It's like, oh, where's Kalei? And then I come in with my Pokemon badges. It's like, Filipino guy, likes Pokemon. Yeah, that's Kalei.
Wait, do you still have those too?
I don't, maybe.
Oh, dude.
I mean, yes, but I want to pretend like, oh, I don't know. I've, so long ago. No, yeah, I do.
For Halloween, how kids wear like the muscles underneath the superhero shit?
Yeah.
You have to put those on, and then they'll be like, "Oh yeah, that seems about right."
Like every night, you're like polishing each one.
Okay. We're almost done here. We're gonna wrap things up. But my last question to you, Kalei, if you have just one piece of advice to everyone starting to play ukulele, what would it be?
Play ukulele because it's something you enjoy and because it's fun. Regardless of what level you're at, whether you played an instrument before or if this is your first instrument, it should always be fun. So no matter what you're practicing, whether if it's strumming and singing, you want to get into instrumental, that's the main thing, is just enjoying this instrument. Because when you're enjoying something, you automatically, subconsciously just push yourself to end up learning more. And because you love it, you end up learning quicker. So please continue to watch all of the Ukulele Underground videos. Ask them for help and guidance. They'll be more than willing to answer any of the questions that you guys have. I mean, for us, we just love it, and that's why we continue to do it. And it has nothing to do with like just being a performer or anything. It was just an opportunity that we got because we just love to play the instrument. And one of the things that we found the best way to expand and grow the community of ukulele players is by sharing our knowledge with as much people as we can. And whether if it's on stage or doing a retreat, you can talk to someone on the phone and share something that might help them with their ukulele playing, because this instrument is changing a lot of lives around the world, and being able to personally go there and see it has been really eye-opening, for all of us here. So thank you guys so much for supporting this wonderful instrument, and I look forward to trying to meet each and every one of you. So if any of you guys are watching overseas or see me like anywhere, please let us know. Let me know like how we can help you grow as an ukulele player, because your feedback matters a lot. So thank you guys.
All right. So with that note, that's going to be it for Thursday Live Lesson, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Kalei. How about a round of applause for Kalei Gamiao?
Thank you for having me.
thank you to all of our retreat students who are in the house right now, and I don't know if anyone is not here, but thank you to those as well. But they've really made this special because no one could have came and we'd have just been talking here by ourselves, But so thank you guys so much for making this possible. We appreciate each and every one of you folks. Kahai, what's your one advice?
Yeah, what Kalei said.
Right on. Ditto.
How can you be perfection? It's just so good.
Yeah. So thank you guys so much. Thanks for downloading the podcast. If you're listening, to the podcast right now, if you're watching it, thank you guys so much for taking some time out of your day and checking out Ukulele on the Ground. But go to ukuleleontheground.com if you guys want to learn, a song or two or a technique or two, and sign up for UU Plus to take your ukulele playing to the next level. Have a great one. Aloha.